Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Monday Motivation. I'm your host, Daniel Krakowski, joined, as always, by Funkmaster G.
Funkmaster Flex.
Goran Vasevich.
What's up,
man?
Everybody?
And joining us today, we have the audience via the camera, and we also have Isaac Keene. What's going on?
What's going on, everyone?
So Isaac is actually doing a podcast and a vlog in tandem at the same time. 9 a.m. We're actually getting ready to head to new construction project in Cottage Grove where it's rainy, it's cold, there's actually some snow on the ground, and we love it.
Yeah, we are not put off by the snow. Welcome to Minnesota, everybody.
Yes.
That's what I woke up to this morning, was seeing that. But, you know, anything that is really like a deterrent, anything that's a detractor, anything that makes a task more difficult, I tend to get excited.
I love it. I love it. I was like, every day I wake up and it's great weather, I'm like, man, there's just that many more people competing against me because the weather is influencing how their mind is set up.
Yep.
But now when you wake up and it's rainy, cloudy, dreary, and snowy, people are just kind of trying to mail it in. And I'm like, this is the perfect time to get ahead, to actually, just get really comfortable with this time in the season, especially in the real estate, because who wants to go look at houses in the winter? We do.
And for a lot of people too, it's commerce slowed down a little bit, but that really gives you the opportunity to set up and restructure everything that, any changes, any adjustments that you may need to your business model, to your strategy. If you're launching new businesses, as we are, you can really use this time and capitalize on it. And just in general, like, I love when I'm looking at a property to flip or do something with, and the pictures are terrible, and it's in a really inconvenient location relative to where, a lot of investors are typically from. Like, one of the best deals that I had was, probably an hour away, and just anything that would make a rational person say, this is too hard, I don't want to do it. That's where I get to come in as an irrational person and try and capitalize on the opportunity.
Right, and that's the perfect time. So can you give us and give me as well some of the tips, tricks, or strategies to actually put you in that mindset, and then we can switch sides too?
Yeah, it's just all about being absolutely relentless. I think that's number one.
Yep.
Is, when you start to define your purpose as, I was speaking with Shaz yesterday about this a little bit, but we were talking about when you start to define your purpose as, creating value for others and just consistently trying to improve the world and those people around you, then it makes it a lot easier to consistently be fulfilled with what you're doing, because you don't have the ups and downs in the same way. You don't feel them in the same way that you would.
Right.
Whereas, if, say you're a real estate agent, for example, in the winter, you're not selling as many properties. Your flips, if you're doing any of those, aren't going as well. Your rental properties aren't filling as quickly. So it's easy to get dejected. Whereas if you just look at it as, all I'm trying to do is be one point where I'm going to emanate positivity and value to other people and try and bring those around you up with you, then, you're always achieving that goal. And it's not a result-based goal. It's just, the effort that you're putting in. So number one is just be absolutely relentlessly committed to your actual purpose and your passion.
Right.
And then, number two is just staying busy, and some of it may be you're having to actually proactively look for tasks to do, but to me that's an opportunity to innovate, because now instead of saying, well, I'm going to spend 4 hours a day prospecting for deals and 5 hours a day working with current business that we already have, well, now you have like an extra 3 hours, so you can go in, change processes, and try and do more with your time.
Right. No, I think that's a great point. Everything you said kind of echoes for me as well. I think a lot of people have to realize that no matter what day in a week, no matter what the season is, what really is going on is that things are still happening. It's just a matter of if you're going to be a part of it or not. Like, houses are still being sold, for example, in Minnesota during winter. Are they not? And then you have to just make a decision to understand and accept that as a fact, and then just say, hey, I want to be part of that. I don't want to be on the sideline. And by, I don't know, laws of attraction, it will just happen to you.
Right.
Where you assume that to be the norm. Things are happening no matter the weather, no matter the season, no matter the day. I just want to be a part of that transaction. And then you become a part of that. And you have a somewhat of a seasonal slowdown, but the deals are still there.
Right.
Other agents or other people that are in the same industry may not, because they just think everything stops.
Right.
When in fact it doesn't.
Right. It never stops. So I have a funny story I just wanted to share too.
Yeah.
So I introduced a friend to a good friend of ours who's a business owner, and came in for a job interview, and it went pretty well, and they were kind of
I think I was there when your buddy showed up.
Yep. So anyway, so he reached out to me the other day and is like, hey, I contacted them again about this position, and they haven't gotten back to me. He's like, do you think I should call them, or do you think I'd be bothering them? I'm like, I think you should call them every single day until they pick up the phone and talk to you and tell you,
tell what's up.
Because realistically, from our perspective, so, we know the value of talent. I think that's undeniable, and the market really quickly picks up on the value of talent as well. Mm-hmm. And a lot of what people are missing, I think, is just like that passion and that purpose. And I think if you're willing to show that you are willing to embarrass yourself and potentially face rejection by continuously reaching out to someone to try and get yourself into a position, I think that means a lot. And I think that you as an employer would look at that as a positive and not a negative 100%. For that individual.
100%.
So that was a story that it just kind of happened to me yesterday that I think is super funny and just a great example of someone, I think now he's going to consciously make the decision to be relentless in everything that he does.
Right. So how much, for example, even today, Daniel, we have the podcast, we have the vlog happening, we have a couple of appointments. How integral is it for you to know that you have things going on, and the fact that you don't want to disappoint others that are part of your plans, that make you that much more motivated when you wake up in the morning?
Yeah, that's definitely, I think to me that's almost half the value of a partnership is not necessarily what you're even getting for the other person, but just now there's so much more accountability. Mm-hmm. You have to make sure you're performing to not let the person that you're partners with down. Yep. And so that's a great motivator for me. To be sure. How about what are your thoughts?
You know what? That's exactly one of the factors, and I think one of the biggest factors is I don't want to disappoint everybody here, but then also I don't want to disappoint partners that I have within any business. So while I do want to get up and get things done, the fact that I have a certain responsibility to an individual or organization gives me that much more boost to basically, even if I'm sick or if something's hurting or whatever it is, I'll still go and do it.
Right.
So I think it's a great kind of a carrot to have. A lot of people look down on different partnerships, but with the right group or partners, it could be definitely a great motivator and a carrot for you to actually reach out beyond what you think you're capable of. And that's one factor, is really just not wanting to disappoint people that are, that you have business relationships with and that are around you. So not having to disappoint. I knew that I wanted to get here at a certain time to make sure that you guys are not, disappointed because, Goran's not here, he didn't feel like coming in, and we're not going to do all these things.
We're always disappointed when Goran's not here. It's rare, but we're disappointed every time.
What about you, Isaac? Yeah, we haven't heard much from you.
And
what gets you up in the morning, and is it the fact that you're like, hey, I'm 18, I gotta make some money to pay some bills, or is it the fact that you don't want to hear it from me and Dario because you had enough?
Yeah. No, I think the biggest thing for me is I kind of figured out really early on what I really want to do and like what businesses I want to have and how I want to grow in that aspect. So knowing every single day, if I get up, like early bird gets the worm, like the harder I work every single day, the more results I'll get and even more opportunities will open up.
I couldn't agree more. I think life is a race, and I really do. I think that you got to get more done. You know, I think most people get to they're jogging and they get to, you know, what we call like maybe their lifetime accomplishment over 65 years. But I think if you're sprinting and you condition yourself well, you can get there in 25, 30 years, and that's what allows you to move into the next echelon of
what I like to say is, I want to quote Gary Vee. He's like, micro speed but macro patience.
Wow.
There it is.
It's really good. That must be a new one, huh?
No.
No, it's an old one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, damn. I missed a lot of Gary Vee, I guess. But how much of your motivation, like I said, is you wanting to do good work and also not disappoint others? It doesn't have to be just me, you know, like, you know, friends, family, etc.
I think that's a good thing with partnerships, too, is not wanting to disappoint anyone and doing good work so you're growing the organization you're with too is a huge part of it. And not only like do I grow myself, but when I know when I work harder, I help others as well. So that's probably like almost 50% of my motivation.
What about just to kind of circle back and about the weather? How do you feel about when it's cold, wet, snowy versus when it's sunny and you can fly the drone?
Yeah, so like obviously one of my businesses is Keen Media. I do listing videos, so
shout out Keen Media. What's your URL? Go ahead. It's free. Go ahead.
www.keenly.com.
All right.
But so, for example, I was supposed to shoot a listing video today at noon, and it's snowing. So obviously I can't go shoot that video, but that doesn't I don't stop and like, wow, I can't do any videos. My business is done. No, I text them and be like, hey, do you want to shoot the interior today? And then wait for a better day to do with the outside. So like,
do you get influenced by the weather though?
No.
No. Have you before or no?
Like, I think the weather, like when it's cold and stuff, there's still so much that can get done, and there's a lot that I can do. So like obviously being a new agent, I need to, like me and Danny were talking about this yesterday. I didn't even have a Facebook page yet as a business, so I made that last night, and then I can get my whole social presence way better, get a website made, like preparing myself for the spring. Like that can all be done in the winter.
That's right. I think it's a great strategy and a great plan. So, congrats to you, young man. You're not officially 2 years old.
No.
Yes. Yeah. So don't be a business bear and hibernate through the winter with everything that you're doing. Just keep your destination in mind and focus, and let's get to work.
I know you want to fire up the camera there, Isaac. I think we're gonna go straight from the podcast right into the vlog. Daniel, you want to sign us off?
Yes. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.